Understanding the U.S. Army's approach to stability and reconstruction in Syria. The United States has been involved in the conflict in Syria for nearly a decade, beginning with diplomatic efforts to end the conflict and eventually shifting towards military intervention in support of opposition forces. Along the way, the U.S. military has played a crucial role in providing security and stability in areas of the country previously held by terrorist groups like ISIS. In particular, the U.S. Army has been responsible for leading the effort to stabilize and reconstruct parts of Syria liberated from ISIS control. This effort has involved a range of tasks, including rebuilding critical infrastructure, providing essential services to local communities, and supporting the development of local governance structures that promote stability and security. At its core, the U.S. Army's approach to stabilization and reconstruction in Syria is built around a few key principles. First and foremost, the U.S. military seeks to support the Syrian people in their quest for a stable and peaceful future. This means working closely with local partners and stakeholders to understand their needs and priorities and developing targeted initiatives that address these challenges. Another important aspect of the U.S. Army's approach to stabilization and reconstruction in Syria is the emphasis on building local capacity. This means investing in the development of local organizations and institutions that can take ownership of their own governance and development processes. Ultimately, the goal is to build local capacity to the point where the U.S. military can confidently withdraw, knowing that the foundations for long-term stability have been laid. To achieve these goals, the U.S. Army has implemented a range of programs and initiatives in Syria. One of the most important of these is the Civil Administration Support Program, CASP, which provides technical assistance, training, and funding to local governance structures. Through this program, the U.S. military works alongside local councils and administrative bodies to build capacity, promote transparency and accountability, and develop effective policies and procedures. The U.S. Army has also invested in the restoration and reconstruction of critical infrastructure in liberated areas of Syria. This includes not only basic utilities like water and electricity, but also major facilities like hospitals, schools, and police stations. By rebuilding these critical structures, the U.S. military aims to restore confidence and trust in the local population and enable them to once again govern their own communities. In addition to these more tangible initiatives, the U.S. Army has also focused on promoting individual and community-level resilience in Syria. This includes supporting the development of local businesses and farming cooperatives, promoting access to education and healthcare, and providing training and other support to help individuals and families recover from the trauma of war and displacement. Looking ahead, the U.S. Army's approach to stabilization and reconstruction in Syria will likely continue to evolve and adapt to the changing needs and dynamics on the ground. However, the core principles of supporting local communities, building local capacity, and promoting resilience are likely to remain central to this effort. Ultimately, the success of the U.S. Army's stabilization and reconstruction efforts in Syria will depend on a range of factors, including the political and security environment in the region, the willingness and ability of local partners and stakeholders to take ownership of their own development processes, and the ongoing commitment and support of international actors like the U.S. Despite the many challenges and uncertainties ahead, one thing is clear: the U.S. Army's approach to stability and reconstruction in Syria represents a vital and valuable contribution to the global effort to promote peace, security, and prosperity in regions affected by conflict and instability. Whether in Syria or elsewhere, the lessons learned and best practices developed through this effort are sure to inform and guide future stabilization and reconstruction efforts for years to come.